Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Brennan, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tuesday World Meditation. Today, I join you from my home in Naples, New York. This sacred time and space is devoted to our shared practice of entering stillness and of giving together. Let us first surround and protect ourselves with the love and the grace of God. Before we begin the meditation, I'd like to share a passage from the new message related to our practice of relationship. And I'm going to be reading from The Deep Union with God, which was received by Marshall V. N. Summers, May 24th, 2014, in Boulder, Colorado. And I chose this because I'm working on my stiller relationships more and more. And with this revelation, I'm finding that our deeper union with God and the relationship that is present with us is the foundation for me of all my relationships with others, with life, and with the world. It has everything to do with our purpose here on earth and being able to be in harmony with others, to experience the deeper recognition and intimacy with another wherever we go. The reality of God and the plan of God for the universe is beyond your intellectual comprehension and capacity, but the opportunity to experience the deep union with God is within you and is ever present. This is the experience of deep relationship, the most profound relationship you can have and will ever have. It is a relationship that you have already. For though your soul wanders in the physical reality, living in a separated state of awareness, the deeper part of you has never left God. The deep union with God still lives within you, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be experienced, waiting to be realized. When we speak of God, we are speaking of God of the entire universe in all the dimensions of the universe, in countless races of beings with countless religions, all different from each other in appearance and in orientation. We are speaking of a God of a non-human universe where freedom is rare. So never think that you were created in the likeness of God, for God has no likeness, being ever present, permeating everything. For while you live in separation and are journeying through life in this world, you are still part of creation, which never changes and which is forever, having no beginning and no end. Such things are clearly beyond your imagination and the capacity of your intellect to comprehend. You cannot create images of this because there is no image for this forever. You cannot really create adequate concepts of this, for concepts are not forever, and you are dealing with something that is forever. The imagination can only consider things in time, in physical reality. That is why it cannot conceive of peace. It cannot conceive of true equanimity. It cannot conceive of true happiness. It cannot conceive of pure relationship, for these things are forever. And there are the great ways of change on the horizon that will challenge your intellect more than anything you can currently imagine. But your experience of true relationship, your experience of deep happiness, your experience of equanimity, all require a different orientation within you. It is fine to have images that represent this in some way, but never confuse these images and these ideas and parables with the reality itself, which is so much greater, which is complete. You need union with God to know your deeper strength and to be able to grasp that you have a greater purpose for being in the world, which will be revealed to you incrementally as you go forward. Here you must turn away from your surface life and your mind operating at the surface, which is always caught up in plans, goals, and problem solving, which is caught up in fantasy and conflict and disassociation. Here you turn your focus inward to the great quiet and peacefulness that exists beneath the surface of the mind. You find methods for taking yourself into this deeper and far more expansive realm, which is so unlike your life at the surface. It is like the ocean, which is always turbulent at its surface, whipped by the winds of the world, seemingly chaotic and without clear purpose or direction. Yet when you enter the depths, it is a whole other reality. It is quiet, it is pervasive, demonstrating little of the impacts that are occurring at the surface. The greatest storm in the world could be happening above you, but when you are in depths, even just below the surface, in fact, it is an entirely different reality and experience. You come here merely to be in the presence. Knowledge within you is quiet and observant. It is always open to the will of the Creator. It will not speak to you in words particularly, except perhaps in very short phrases. It will more likely give you impulses, restraints to hold you back, or encouragement to move you forward when that is necessary. It is a power and a force within you. It represents the deeper current of your life. It alone holds your true purpose and the recognition of those who will serve in this purpose and who will play important roles in your discovery and expression of this. It is also your experience of union with God, which is silent and pervasive. Here, your desire and capacity must grow. Your desire must grow because you must see that you need this to be nourished, to be restored, and to be strengthened, so that over time, you may become more fearless, more clear, and more capable of participating in the world for a greater purpose. You need this deep union because this is your most primary relationship. Your inability to experience this represents your inability to experience recognition, harmony, and even intimacy with others. What limits your engagement with God is what limits your engagement with people and with the world as a whole. That is why people live in their ideas and beliefs and concepts, rarely ever in the moment, rarely ever experiencing the presence of God and the meaning of their existence. Here is the deeper engagement. Your ideas are not important. Your beliefs only impediments. Your fears, concerns, plans, and goals are merely distractions. For in the deep union, they are unimportant. Here you begin to open your capacity. Right now, perhaps you can only experience this for a second or two. For the briefest periods before your mind closes down and rises up to the surface, you will experience this repeatedly as you begin to prepare for the engagement. You will see how dominated you are by your thinking and by the world around you. You must see this to understand your current state and the state of nearly everyone around you. Do not blame yourself. It is the evidence of living in separation. But as you take the steps to knowledge, you build your capacity to experience the ineffable presence of God, and you find ways to sink below the surface. Relationships are invisible. It is not what you see and touch. It is what you feel and know. That is the true evidence of a great relationship. A great relationship with a person, a great relationship with work in the world, a great relationship with a place, a great relationship with the whole world. Your most primary relationship is with God. It is invisible. Who you are is truly invisible. Who you were before you came into the world, who you will be when you leave the world is something you cannot perceive with your eyes. You enter the deeper realm and it is dark, but as you continue, it is full of presence. Every moment that you can spend engaged with the presence, engaged without questions, without concepts, without your surface mind, will restore you and give you strength and courage that you cannot receive from anywhere else. When you hear our voices speaking to you now together, it can evoke this deep sense of relationship, the invisible power of true union. Every moment you spend here, you become less of a slave to the world, less of a slave to your senses, less of a slave to your fears and obligations to others, less of a slave to your fantasies and desires. Weaken with every moment that you spend deep in the presence. There is another great benefit here, and that is when this connection is being built increasingly. Knowledge will be able to speak to you, and you'll hear it and feel it. Knowledge speaks to you anyway, but you rarely hear it or feel it. But now you are building the connection, which is so much more important than getting ideas or answers to your questions. For with this connection being built step by step, everything you need to see and know and hear can come to you. And you will be able to hear it. You will be able to abide with it. And you will be able to carry forth whatever it calls for in your life. When you become tired of empty relationships, hopeless pursuits, the expense of trying to get what you want from the world, and all the corruption that creates within you and around you, you will seek the deep union increasingly. Nothing else can give you what you truly need, the true needs of your soul. It is here that the return of God begins. Perhaps imperceptibly at first, it is the first turning point, for God is the great attraction of your life, greater than any image of wealth, beauty, or charm in this world, or any world, more pervasive, more complete, deeper, and more permanent than anything else you can think of or hold of for yourself. Your most primary spiritual practice is experiencing this deeper presence. It is not the presence of a person. It is not the presence of an angel. It is not the presence of some deity. It is the presence of your source and of all creation. It is bigger than you will ever be able to experience in this life. As you open to it, your heart will be filled, your mind will be cleansed and relieved, and you will know that you are permanent, though you travel through the world. You will know that you are loved, though true love seems to be so remote and hard to find. You will know you are here for a purpose because God has sent you here for a purpose. You will be patient, knowing that it will unfold as you proceed, therefore relieving yourself of constant speculation. You will begin to experience the wonders of life here, the little joys and simple pleasures of being in the world as never before. Because now you can feel things you could not feel before, see things you could not see before, and hear things you could not hear before. God will not give you everything you want. God will give you the chance to live the true life you came here to live. And to find the true relationship that will be part of this greater life, and to be free of much of the bondage of the world and free of much of the suffering, misery, and despair that you will see around you, you will have this profound freedom, greater than political freedom it is, greater than any freedom you can imagine, but it is all for a greater purpose. It is to prepare you for this purpose so that you are free to see it and know it and to follow it increasingly. How you are not seeking bliss, you are seeking relationship. Your purposeful relationship with God and the deep union with God that is beyond expression, beyond description, beyond words and images, and yet ever present within you, calling you, waiting for you to respond. Please join me now in a 30-minute stillness practice. Take whatever time you need to read your own step and enter stillness when you are ready. Nase Navari Kuram. While we are in this place of stillness, think of someone in need and then send them a quality that you wish to receive yourself. Send that individual that quality. Send them love or strength, faith or encouragement, determination or surrender, acceptance or self-discipline, compassion or forgiveness. Whatever they need to bring about resolution in their lives. In stillness, send them what they need without trying to solve their problems or strengthen a preferred outcome. In giving, we also receive. And in this giving, these qualities are strengthened within ourselves. Nase Namari Karam. Thank you all for coming.